Shine Amtrak pilot program. We have full details on what the program will entail ahead.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
The search for Macomb High School's new head football coach is over. Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4.
Tony Weston was announced as the new Bomber head coach last night. This afternoon, he was formally introduced as at MHS, a place he has always considered home.
But I came to Macomb to come home, to come to where my brothers and my sister and I attended school and played sports, and family here, friends. This is home. This is where we cut our teeth, and to be able to participate in this athletic program is an honor.
Weston has spent the last 2 seasons as an assistant under former coach Kelly
However,
Sears.
if we don't use
we will have more, including full reaction on the hire later on in sports.
And new at 4, the downtown square is set to start construction in April. The bid for the overlay downtown Macomb Streets project was awarded to Gunther Construction at Monday night City Council meeting. The project is set to cost $1.4 million. Alderman Cook was concerned that once the project got started, it could cost more than planned. Residents can expect to see the downtown construction starting within the next month. The project should be completed by next school year.
Macomb's downtown square is getting a new restaurant, but the business isn't new to the city. The former Shiloh's restaurant on the west side of the square is set to become Chubby's. This, according to the Downtown Macomb Facebook page. Chubby's right now is located on Adams Street. No word yet on when the business will make the move. And while one business is moving in, another is set to close up shop. Curlin's Hallmark store in downtown Macomb is closing its doors after almost 60 years of business. The store is now undergoing a liquidation sale. The store in Quincy is expected to remain open. The last day of business is scheduled for April 22nd.
And more in downtown Macomb, another retail store is set to close in Macomb. The JCPenney franchise will be closing 7 stores in the state of Illinois. This is part of a 138-store closing nationwide. The JCP newsroom says they've reached their first profitable year since 2010, and with that, they want to close stores to cut off negative profits and compete with growing online sales. They also said they are offering early retirement to approximately 6,000 eligible employees and plan to hire more full-time employees with the cuts. The stores will start the liquidation process on April 17th of this year.
City aldermen are raising question on the proposed contract for Spring Lake Park. A correction from the last update, the Park District was not at all involved in the proposal in any way. The City of Macomb owns Spring Lake Park, and Ryan Hansen is the park's director. His responsibilities are to maintain the facility and has full responsibility of the park. Ryan Hansen proposed a $60,000 improvement to the park. Hansen paid the city $28,000 over the past 2 years due to rising profits in the park, but the city would now like to use that money for other projects. However, Hansen wants a guarantee that the park will get the $28,000 back. The city wants to have a revised copy of the contract in a future meeting.
38 states across the nation offer Amtrak, and Illinois has stations throughout the entire state. But the Macomb station will be the first to try out a new program from Amtrak. Within the last year, Amtrak engineers have taken a survey of the station here in Macomb. The engineers came up with a list of needed improvements. Most importantly, the need to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Former Mayor of Macomb, Tom Carper, is on the Amtrak board of directors and says this pilot program will hopefully lead to more updates among stations in the United States.
All the logistics of it and about the retail and all that. It was going to be done, whether it's done in 2 months or in our normal queue of construction projects around the country. It was going to be done regardless.
At Monday night City Council meeting, the city opened the bids and expect to start the project in the upcoming months. Amtrak will reimburse Macomb for the project. Residents and travelers can expect to see the changes completed by next school year.
A new event to help raise awareness while raising money for people with multiple sclerosis is coming to WIU. The WIU Fighting for MS Club is putting together an Extreme 5K for MS. The money raised will benefit the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. The 5K will be on March 25th at 11 a.m. starting in Hanson Field. For registration and donations, visit the webpage at the bottom of your screen or their Facebook page.
WIU's University Technology Department sent out a simulated phishing test email to all students and employees in order to raise awareness on how to identify and report them. Phishing scams are attempts by scammers to trick you into giving out personal information. Threats, incorrect links, poor spelling and bad grammar, and spoofs of known websites or companies are all signs of an email scam. If you identify a phishing scam, delete it immediately. For more information on tips to identify phishing messages, go to staysafeonline.org.
Still to come on Live at 4, overcoming obstacles, how one WIU student with a birth defect is not letting her difference get her down.
And local elections are around the corner in McDonough County. Find out what seats are open and who's running ahead. But first, Frederick Terry's in with a preview in sports. Frederick.
Thank you very much, Megan. A big day in sports around the area. We'll have full reaction of the new MHS hire coming up. Plus, how did the Leatherneck women's basketball team do in their first NCAA tournament action in over 2 decades? We'll have the answer next, but first, Storm Team 3's Emily Manley has a look at the forecast.
Well, Frederick, I think we really still can't complain. It's still gorgeous outside for this time of the year. Taking a look at those temperatures right now, 44 degrees, just absolutely fantastic. Quick look at the radar. Some rain showers moving through the area. If you stepped outside this afternoon, you might have felt a few drizzles. I'll have your current forecast along with the 5-day forecast coming up later on Live at 4.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 is back in a moment.
I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a Leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back. Today we are starting a new series here on News 3 Live at 4. For the next 6 weeks, videographer Ryan Garrity and I are bringing you stories of students here at WIU who face a variety of challenges. This week you'll meet a WIU junior who has a love for music, but a heart that's slightly offbeat. Most babies born with her condition endure surgeries and other struggles in their early years of life, but this young woman has been more fortunate. Here's this week's Overcoming Obstacles, a News 3 special report.
Michelle Bingheim is always making music. Whether she's in class working toward her goal of becoming a music therapist or playing trumpet in the WIU Wind Ensemble. Even though you can't hear it, unlike her classmates and friends, Michelle's heart is singing a song of its own, with a different sort of beat.
I have a hole in the wall that separates the left and right ventricles of the heart.
Michelle has a congenital heart defect, a condition nearly 40,000 babies are born with each year in the U.S.
I was only 3 pounds 4 ounces, and so I was really tiny, and so right away they knew that something was wrong.
But she doesn't let her difference hold her back.
I haven't really, had any limitations or anything. Like I ran cross country in high school and, was in band and everything.
She says she's one of the lucky ones. She knows many patients with this birth defect endure surgeries and many complications.
Like I'm just here and yeah, I have a CHD, but sometimes I'm like, can I call myself a survivor because I haven't had to go through anything compared to what a lot of people have had to go through.
That tiny hole in her heart that never closed has actually opened doors for Michelle. She wants to use her little story to make a big difference.
I have a headband as well that I wear a lot of times, and I think, sometimes people are like, oh, I like your headband because it's blue and red with white hearts, and I'm like, thank you, and then that gives you the opportunity then to share about why you're wearing it.
Her experience with CHD is part of what brought her to study music therapy. One of her friends in the major, WIU senior Caitlin Pennington, says Michelle is someone you can always count on.
Count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. She's dedicated, very outgoing, makes friends with everybody anywhere, and is really motivated to succeed.
Although her CHD doesn't cause many problems, there are always risks. She has to see her cardiologist every 2 to 3 years to make sure all is well. But for now, Michelle keeps beating to the sound of her own drum.
Michelle is a Quincy native, and this summer she plans to use her talents right here at Western as a counselor for WIU's Summer Music Institute. We wish her all the best.
Macomb residents and WIU students have the chance to shave their heads this weekend for a good cause. St. Baldrick's is the nation's largest research charity for cancer, and anyone is invited to contribute. The organization has held over 11,000 events and shaved nearly 552,000 heads. It's all to raise money for childhood cancer. Sunday, Macomb's fundraiser has a goal of $15,000 from $11,000 just last year. The event is open from noon to 4 p.m. in Tanner Hall.
Macomb will soon be voting for new positions throughout the community.
Candidates met earlier this month to talk about to residents about what they are running for.
Funding our education, providing our education, and I hope that I can serve on the board and help make that happen.
The board has 2 basic tasks, which are money and mission, that is ensuring the money is spent wisely and we keep people on track effectively and efficiently.
Currently, I work for the county clerk's office in the accounting department. I handle the budgets, levies, and bonds for our taxing districts and do the accounts payable.
Starting off with the Spoon River College Board, there are 3 total seats open for a 6-year term. 6 candidates are up for election. They are Jerry Kramer, Dave McGuire, Philip Murphy, Brendan Bauman, and Reynold Bleem and Kevin Mead. The Macomb School Board, there are 4 open seats that will serve 4-year terms. Up for election is James Leprod, Brett Schneer, Larry Adams, Scott Torrance, Jill Jolene Myers, and Ardell Thompson. The election will take place on April 4th, but there is early voting. If you want to vote before April, go to the basement of the courthouse Monday throughout Friday until 8 until 5, closed for lunch, and on Saturday, March 25th and April 1st from 9 to noon.
Former NFL defensive end Michael Sam will be coming to Western to discuss the challenges he faced in his professional career. Michael Sam is the first openly gay American football player to be drafted into the NFL. Sam will present his speech in the university's Graham Ballroom tomorrow at 7 p.m. Admission is free to the public.
Break. The Storm Team 3's Emily Manley will have a look at the 5-day forecast with the possibility of temperatures in the 70s for the weekend.
You're watching News 3 live at 4. We'll be right back.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
I think what I love most about News 3 is that we're really provided with a real-world experience. We're able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. News 3 has really taught me to believe in myself and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your nurturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
And welcome back to News 3 Live at 4. I haven't had too big of a problem giving the temperatures for this spring season, even though yesterday was just like the first day of spring. It's definitely felt like spring for the past few weeks. Taking a look at the temperatures outside right now, 44 degrees. There has been some rain in the area. I stepped outside this afternoon, and those rain showers did go through the Macomb area. There's going to be a few more of those throughout the evening. It's just a pressure system moving throughout the area. You can see that it's also down here in St. Louis, but those should be out of the area by about midnight tonight. This is the current surface map. I wanted to show this on here because that pressure system that moved through the area is what's causing this rain and the cloud coverage for the area. Like I said, it'll be out of the system by this evening. I wanted to put these up there because at one point the record was 87 degrees. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, I wish it was 87 degrees, but I'm not going to push it yet because it could be that this summer. But the average for this time of year is 53 degrees, so we're really on track for the average. Temperatures around the area, 44 degrees in Macomb, 55 in Beardstown, and 55 in Quincy, all sitting about the average for this time of year, as I said. I did want to put the temperature map up to kind of give you an idea here. You can see that even in the northeast, they're above average. Everyone has been above average for this time of year, and you hear complaints, you hear happiness. I'm one of those that's just pretty happy with how the temperatures have been sitting. This is how tomorrow is going to look. A little more cloud coverage tomorrow, but there will be no rain in the area. Moving into Thursday, there is another chance of rain into Thursday evening, and that is going to be another pressure system that's going to be moving into the area. This is the weather for tonight. 27 degrees in Macomb, will drop below freezing, so if those plants are outside, put a blanket over them or a trash bag over them just to be safe. Don't want to kind of hurt them or have them freeze. Tomorrow we're going to hit about 45 degrees, 46 in Beardstown. Once again, average for this time of year. Taking a look at tomorrow night, 31 degrees, just about freezing. So if you have that blanket out, just leave it on that plant tomorrow night. Will also help it into tomorrow evening. Taking a look at tonight, 27 degrees, a few more chances of showers throughout the evening. Like I said, it should be done throughout midnight. 45 tomorrow, and the sun shall be back out tomorrow. Taking a look at my 5-day forecast, you can see that Wednesday and Thursday is going to be windy. That's due to a pressure system that is moving into the area. Still average, 45 degrees, 55 degrees, 51, excuse me. Moving into the weekend, though, another chance of rain. That's that pressure system I was talking about, but that pressure system is a good pressure system because it's actually going to bring warmer weather. So this weekend, we're looking at 72, 65, so just an absolutely beautiful weekend.
When the Midwest is unpredictable, I don't mind it as long as it's the warm unpredictable.
That's, I have to agree. Same here.
All right, thank you so much, Emily. Now we're going to pass it over to Redrick Terry with a preview in sports. Redrick.
Thank you very much, Megan. Coming up next in sports, we will have full reaction of the coaching change for MHS football. What did the new main man at the helm have to say at his introductory press conference today? We'll have it all for you next. Plus, baseball returned to Phil Bradley Field this week, how the Bombers did on the diamond against the tough Havana crew. Live at 4 continues after the break.
The net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. How much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules. You tell me to stay away from drugs. To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
My favorite thing about News 3 is you're constantly working with someone. If you're not going to work with someone, then your show's not going to go right. News 3 has really got me ready and prepared for the outside world. Traveling to do a tornado story, or if that even means traveling to Iowa to cover third graders. I get to work with some fantastic people. It wouldn't be the show that it was today without the production crew, without our anchors, without our talent. It's really a team effort, and I'm beyond blessed to be able to be here.
And welcome back to
Hillary
Live.
Dunn was convinced that Western Illinois
Macomb High football coaching search. Just last night, the MHS school board announcing the hire of Tony Weston as new head football coach. Weston served as the junior varsity head coach for the last 2 seasons. Now varsity head coach Weston was formally introduced at a press conference just hours ago.
When we sat right here in this library and Mr. Bartlett told us what he was looking for, I honestly felt at that moment that, wow, that sounds a lot like me. So at that point, we just went all systems go and moved forward. And, you know, it's been a long process in many ways, but in some ways it just feels like I'm in a whirlwind and it's time to get to work.
We really feel that his personality will help encourage kids to go out for football that maybe aren't out for any sport right now. And so if our football program is going to improve, we're going to have to get more kids to participate. We just feel like he offers an opportunity to get that done.
Congratulations to him. On the college hoops now, it was finally time for tournament basketball for the Leatherneck women's hoop squad. Western making their first appearance in the NCAA tournament since 1995, and it was as the 14 seed as a very tough Florida State Seminole team awaited them in the first round. We'll take you there now. It's the big dance in Tallahassee, Florida, as the Leathernecks are getting ready to go. In the first, the ball is loose on the floor, but it's Taylor Higginbotham scooping it up and scoring the mid-range jumper. She scored the first 9 for Western. Then how about Emily Clemens on a dime pass to Morgan Bloomer, and Western led 19-12 after a quarter of play. Now we head to the second. How about that floater for the Summit League Player of the Year, Emily Clemens, and guess what? She was not done yet. This time from beyond the arc, knocking it down. And then the Leathernecks distributing the ball like they do best. They swing it around the arc here, finding Taylor Hanneman wide open in the corner, nailing the 3. Western led by 1. A little less than a minute later, this time opposite corner, Taylor Higginbotham knocks in a triple of her own. Western trailed 36-34 at halftime. But in the second half, it would be FSU. And Letty Romero drilling the corner 3 to get things started for Florida State in the third. And how about Imani Wright stepping into this mid-range J and knocking it down as the Seminoles started to find a groove. And how tough is ACC Player of the Year, Shakayla Thomas? No good on the first, no good on the second, but the third try goes. And in a very valiant effort, the Leathernecks will come up just short, falling to the Seminoles 87-66, the final score. That puts an end to an absolutely fantastic 26-7 season. Congratulations to Summit League Coach of the Year, J.D. Gravina, and the Leathernecks on a fantastic year. Well, as the temps warm up outside, so does the action on the baseball diamond. The Macomb Bombers baseball team, sectional champions from a year ago, look to build on that with a bunch of talent on the team this year. They faced a very strong Havana team yesterday. We'll take you out there now. Beautiful day for baseball as the Bombers aim for win number 2 on the young season. In the top of the first, Mills for the Ducks slaps a single to left. It would drive in the first run of the game, and Havana had a 1-0 lead. Then later on, a ground ball to short. It would get away here, and it would score a run for Havana. In fact, it would score 2, and making it 4-0 Ducks in the top of the 4th inning. So Brock Boehner and his sectional championship team had some work to do, and boy, would they answer. In the bottom of the 5th, Blake Kelly sends that one to right field. It'll go as an RBI single. It got by the outfielder there as MHS got on the board, and then in the next at-bat, Jacob Berg, the quarterback for MHS, on the gridiron, on the diamond, he hits that grounder to the right side. That brings in another run. Macomb led 5-4 after 5. Then a tie game in the 5th. There's a strikeout to end the inning. Nice play there. As this game will get down to the wire. Chance to take the lead in the bottom half. It was a ground ball to first, but Parker Schmolsup, that was enough to do it. They took the lead, then they got the strikeout there to complete the comeback, and the Bombers win it. What a game at Field Bradley Field. 6-5 was the final score. Next up for the Bombers, a trip to Alleman High School to square off against the Pioneers tomorrow afternoon. And finally today, Illinois has secured their new head basketball coach, for men's, and it's a familiar face. The Illini announcing that Brad Underwood will take over the reins as U of I head coach. Underwood, a former Western Illinois basketball assistant, says that the return of Illinois was definitely not a hard decision to make.
For me, it was no decision. It was something that meant a great deal to me. I spent 10 years in this state from 1993 to 2003. And at that time, I learned how important the Illini Nation was and how powerful. And basketball was special here.
That's all for sports. Final word is next on Live at 4.
Hillary Dunn was convinced that Western Illinois University would invest in her.
My classes, friends, teachers, and activities have had a tremendous impact on my time here.
Hillary's passion for learning and helping others will lead her down a successful path.
Whether I choose graduate school or missionary work, I'll serve to the best of my ability because I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I'd have to say it's just the fact that you can get involved right away. You walk in the door and you can learn all the equipment. And I've been able to anchor, I've been able to be a DJ on our student-run radio station here. I've been able to work any of the camera equipment and the audio equipment. The fact that you can get involved right away. Everybody's really friendly. They welcome you right when you walk in the door. And you report the news, but you can also have fun stories and hard news stories and conflicting stories. But yet you just get such a real-life experience here at News 3.
In honor to help fund the Global AIDS Relief Project, Apple has just released 2 new red-themed iPhones.
Whenever a red iPhone is sold, a portion of the profits will go to the organization RED, which was made to help spread awareness for the deadly virus.
These unique phones are available for iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus. That's all we have today, but you can also find us online all the time. Stay up to date with us at news3wu.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Just search for our handle, News3WIU, and be sure to note that we won't be here on Thursday and Friday. News 3 is headed to New York City, so we can continue to learn and provide the best possible coverage for our area.
That's it for us today. Thank you for joining.
Have a great night, Macomb.